Morning, everyone.
What's the number?
I'd like to call to
690-693.
3922. I'd like to call to order the Employees Retirement System of the Government of the Virgin Islands regular meeting of the Board of Trustees, Thursday, October 17, 2019. Roll call, please.
Trustee Corwood,
Present.
Trustee Cohen,
Present.
Trustee Liger. Absent.
Excuse. Strap.
Trustee Maynard, absent. Trustee McDonald,
Present.
Trustee Smith, absent. Chairman Calendar,
Present.
Chair 4 present, 2 absent, 1 excused.
So we have a quorum. Yes. Comments and suggestions from retirees? No one on St. Croix? No one here?
Someone said good morning. Who was this? Nico?
Okay, Secretary's minutes, regular meeting, September 26, 2019. Need a motion for approval. Are there any corrections, deletions, additions? No comments?
I didn't see any errors, this is Kellen. I didn't see any errors, so I'll move to accept them.
Okay, need a second.
Second.
Trustee Corwood,
Yes.
Trustee Cohen,
Yes,
Trustee Liger, excused. Trustee Maynard, absent. Trustee McDonald,
Abstain. I wasn't.
You still read them.
Trustee Smith,
But I don't know what was.
absent.
That's right.
Accept them.
Chairman Calendar,
Yes.
Chair 3 yes, 1 excused, 2 absent, 1 abstain.
Communications and correspondences.
The 2 pieces of correspondences that I have today. One dated October 2nd, 2019. Mr. Austin Nips, Administrator, Government Employees Retirement System, 3438 from Princess Garter, 3rd floor, GRS Building, St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, 00802. Re-Act number 8029. Dear Mr. Nips, for the past several months, my office has been fielding calls from retirees regarding their ability to provide contractual professional services to the government of the Virgin Islands once they retire from the VI government service. These individuals have established businesses and bid on professional services contracts for the government of the Virgin Islands via the procurement process. The purpose of my communication is to seek clarification, interpretation from the GRS on its interpretation of Act number 8029. Further, I am requesting that the GRS establish a clear policy surrounding this legislation and distribute it to its retired members to avoid future confusion with this law. Please provide me with your clarification, interpretation of said act only before Tuesday, October 8th. If you have any questions or concerns regarding this matter, please feel free to contact my office. I look forward to your response on the interpretation. Sincerely, Donna Fred Gregory, Senator, 33rd Legislature.
No, I didn't.
I forgot to.
Yeah.
I did send a response. I forgot to include it in my notes. Let me
Here it
see.
is. Here it is.
Okay, I responded to the Senator on October 11th, 2019. The Honorable Donna Fred Gregory, Senator, 33rd Legislature of the Virgin Islands of the United States, 1 Capitol Building, St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, 00802. Re-Act number 8029. Dear Senator Fred Gregory, as requested, the Government Employees Retirement System, GRS, interpretation of Act number 8029 as follows. Virgin Islands law provides that individuals who retire from service of the government and or its instrumentalities are not allowed to return to work and collect their annuity. The only exceptions are individuals who held the job title of nurse, teacher, or police officer, and they are only allowed to return for a maximum of 2-year period. It is difficult to have a general rule, therefore the GRS will review each situation on a case-by-case basis to ensure that the member has not created a situation to specifically get around the return to work restriction. For these reasons, we are urging retired members to check with the GRS before accepting any type of employment with the government and its instrumentalities to avoid any future problems. For clarity, some examples as to what form of employment is acceptable or unacceptable are provided below. 1. A member retires from the government services, forms a corporation and receives a contract to perform work with the government. In some cases, the GRS will find that employment to be acceptable. In particular, if the member does not return to work performing the same duties as before retirement. Number 2, a member retires from the position as a financial analyst at OMB and forms a corporation and receives a contract for cleaning services. That is acceptable to GRS. Number 3, a member retires and goes to work for a cleaning company that has been in existence and is a government contractor. That is acceptable. Number 4, a member retires as a custodian and forms a corporation and receives a contract to return to work as a custodian performing the same services as before retirement. That is unacceptable because it is clear that the member is trying to get around the return to work rules. If we can be of further assistance, let us know. Sincerely, Austin L. Nibs, Administrator. Attachment copies to Captain Smith, Esquire General Counsel, Ismail Myers Jr., Esquire Deputy General Counsel, Asia Clendenin, Acting Chief Operating Officer, Soran Sasso, Director, Member Services, Patricia Williams, Assistant Director, Member Services, Wayne Williams, Chief of Staff, Office of the Governor, Dr. Fred Gregory. Other piece of legislation, of correspondence. It's dated October 9, 2019. It's addressed to Austin Nibs, Administrator, Government Employees Retirement System, number 48B-50C, Compensons Garter, St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, 00820, in Nibs CPA at usvigers.com. Committee on Finance consider bills on Wednesday, October 30th, 2019. Then, Mr. Nibs. The Committee on Finance cordially invites you to appear and testify on Wednesday, October 30th, 2019, in the Earl B. Otley Legislative Hall, St. Thomas, USVI, at 10 a.m. to consider the following bill. Bill number 33-0042, an act amending Title 20, Chapter 39, Section 433, subsection C of the Virgin Islands Code, providing that $10 of each operator's license renewal fee must be remitted to the Government Employees Retirement System, and provided that GRS must use that money towards the reduction of its unfunded liability, proposed by Senator Dwayne M. DeGraff. The committee will meet to receive testimony as we discuss the purpose of the above referenced bill. Your testimony should include all pertinent data and expert opinion as it pertains to the subject matter. Please provide written testimony no later than Monday, October 28, 2019. In addition, please include applicable information regarding the following: support or opposition of the proposed legislation, advantages and or disadvantages to passing the bill, economic impact, economic analysis of the proposed legislation, recommendations to the bill. Thank you in advance for your time and cooperation in this matter. Please contact Azia Rivera at 340-712-2202 or Senator Fairley at leg.org to confirm your attendance, submit testimonies, and address concerns or questions or concerns. Sincerely, Kurt Fairley, Chairman, Committee on Finance, 33rd Legislature of the Virgin Islands. This request came in months ago. I responded in writing to them that we had no objections to it. The only thing we did not know is what impact it would be to the GRS, $10 each. So I'm going to submit the same to the committee. We don't have any objections to the bill. I don't see any the advantage would be more money is cleared, but I don't know what, I can't quantify it. Same thing with economic impact. Recommendations to the bill is that they go ahead and proceed with passing the bill. That ends my correspondences.
Trustees, any question, any comments on any of these two pieces of correspondence? Anybody else? You know, this, again, reading the second bill, they're focusing on renewal of licenses. So that does that eliminate individuals getting a first license? You know,
That might be
Well, it says only on renewals, so,
Renewals.
yeah, so that might be a
question.
recommendation we consider for anybody acquiring a license, whether it be a renewal or first time.
and again, we have no idea the number of persons who.
No. I can give Donnie Dorset a call and see if he knows. But I don't know if he has.
Because when we had the retreat and he presented this, or he recommended that he was going to do something like this, he didn't come up with any numbers in terms of historically what has been on the record. So, yeah, I don't see that we know
He hasn't done
what
his
the
homework.
amount or will be, what impact they'll have.
I'll also call the post auditor and see if he's done any analysis.
Can I put a point in here? What we could do is when they collected the money for the license plate, the Centennial license plates, and if it was like a $50 thing, we can just cut it in 1/5 and get an idea of what the income would be for the year.
I don't know.
This is only for driver's license.
I'm not
It
going to
doesn't
touch
apply.
This driver's license only, not
Plates.
it.
license plates.
But it would give a number, to at least a ballpark number of what we would be dealing with per year.
But why are we concerned about that? We don't, whatever monies that comes in, those are special fund, is coming to the GR.
So
I don't know what the
we'll take
impact
anything we
is.
can get.
Yeah, but I don't know what the impact is. Obviously, the senator has not done his homework. He came here last year, we spoke to us about it, we told him about the impact. He came to the retreat, he still didn't know the impact. So,
But they want to also find the impact.
well,
I'll make a couple of calls and see if I can find out anything.
if it's $5, fine. If it's 10, fine. If it's 20, fine. That's the way I look at it. It's not gonna move the needle.
No,
Okay.
maybe so it won't look bad. Maybe we can make a call to DMV.
But I don't know them, so I'll call the post auditor and I'll call,
See,
Mr.
because
Dorset may know.
I think right now it's what, every 5 years you renew your license. They would have to go and determine whose license coming up next year, whose license, I don't know if they have that information. We can probably recommend that in our response, that we need to determine the impact. We have not done any due diligence on the bill. Determine the impact.
But we don't have the information.
We don't have it.
Okay. No other comments? Okay. Chairman's report, I have no report today. So we move on to the administrative report.
Okay, be brief as possible. And we have a lot of important things to do. On October 1 was the 60th anniversary program. And I want to thank the chairman for coming. I think chairman was the only trustee in attendance. Thank you. No trustee was in St. Croix. October 3rd, appeared on a Redfield radio program. Very interesting appearance, along with Kathy Smith. On October 8th, met with the IG, the auditor, in regards to the VI Finest Foods outstanding records that they requested. On October 9th, we met with the actuary in regards to the benefit proposal, which will be discussed in executive session today. On October 10th, I met with the former interim accountant, Benzel, he's a CPA for the Carambola. We were looking at work done and they need to be completed. On October 15th, I met with Uridian in regards to the repairs on the St. Croix complex. And a few days prior to that, we did do a walkthrough with maintenance and acting CEO checking the repairs on the buildings. There's some other work that has to be done in addition to what the contract spells out for. On October 16, we attended the investment committee meeting, which was yesterday, in regards to WICO interview in response to the RFP from management of Havenside Mall. There are no updates on Act 7261, Act 7128. Total applications that are pending as of October 15, 209. Did increase for 2019, about 7 retirees since the last report. Our refunds that were given to the members in excess of $7 million from January to September. As you can see in the regular 452, those are individuals, members that were not vested. We have paid out close to $7 million, pending as of September 30th, 63 more cases. So vested members are leaving the system. Death benefits, from January to September, we have paid out close to $2 million. Those were 40 cases, and number of cases to be completed, 95. Regards to the life certificates, it remains the same. However, we suspended 13 for address changes. And those 13s are international, and 1 and 2 that are domestic. The payroll, the number of retirees as of September 30, 2019, 8,685 retirees. We have paid out for the entire year from October 18, 2018 through September 30, 2019, $251.3 million. We added 474 retirees to the payroll since October 1. At the same time, we deleted 306 due to death. And September 30th, which just gone, we added 15, and we expected to, and we did pay out 11 new on October 15th. The 9/30 payroll amount was $10.7 million, increasing every 50 years. Personal loans are going down. They're becoming mature. As you can see, between August and September, 30 days, it went down a few hundred, 4512. Our mortgages are still constant, 97. As far as our building, the White House at Havenside Mall, we did implement a regular schedule for maintenance and cleaning of the property. Again, pending the elevator repairs. I wanted to say that the drawings that I saw included just what the contractor put as an elevator. So can't blame the contractor, but the drawing shows that it's the same thing, that the one sleeve, I think that's what they call it, that is holding it up. So should have two for strength, but I don't know. I guess we got to just, are we gonna go against the contract? I mean, the Iridian? I don't think so. I think we just have to eat it and move on. Okay? If we didn't catch it, it was up to us to say what. I don't think that's gonna work. I don't know if they have any legal opinion on that, but to me, we erred. And the drawing shows what the contractor has inserted into the building. Okay? I just wanted to say that because there were some questions as to what we're gonna do about the 85,000, 95,000 now. We have a lot of projects going on in St. Croix, in St. Thomas, the old GRS building by Pleasant. We're restoring some work there. Brothers Construction completed approximately 60% of the restoration work. The electrical with a head replaced, upper metal siding, the east side of the building installed, guttering on the east side of the building replaced, plastering of south wall completed. Casino building, the roof was cleaned, no other restorative work started yet. Panel fabrication for the perimeter fencing of the new building, this complex by J. Benton Construction has been completed in preparations to be shipped to St. Croix for installation. St. Thomas Complex, a lot of work is going on. As you can see, if you go to the parking lot, you'll see a lot of work going on. And also on the sides of the building, we received 2 quotes for the northern roof work and hatch repairs. Still having a lot of problems with roof during the rain. Construction began on the building exterior skin project. Damage is more extensive than drawings indicates for the repairs. The reason we had the walkthrough some days ago and met with the region, assessments are being conducted for a possible change order. Proposal for the replacement of the AC unit are due October 21. 4 companies attended the pre-bid conference. Our leases, just about all our leases are still pending. Legal counsel is dealing with that. Rental and electrical collections for September, we collected $301.7 thousand, $145,615.36 for rental, electrical $156,076.18 for a total of $301,691.54. Total year to date, we collected $1.8 million for include rental and electric. Still in arrears of $122,843.65. 30,000 is rental, electrical is $92,317.93. It's going down, but still need to clear those arrearages. As far as insurance claims, FEMA update, we provided necessary information to FEMA for the St. Croix building site. And also FEMA is still awaiting information from WICO, at which we had this information yesterday. I forgot to ask them on 14 expired leases and invoices or receipts from all work done on Havenside post hurricanes Irma and Maria. As you can see, as of October 30, 2019, on page 9, we have a total now of 85 employees. In St. Thomas, 29 exempt, 41 classified. In St. Croix, we have 2 exempt and 13 classified. We have a total of 85 employees. From October last year until September 30th, we hired 9 individuals, new hires. 10 employees resigned. 9 retired, 11 were promoted, and we have 5 vacant positions as we speak. GRS completed union negotiations for steel workers. The agreement approved by the board and ratified by the membership on September 12th, and implementation to begin in October this month. Again, the 60th anniversary kickoff, it was well attended. It was held from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Over 30 participants came out. Was in St. Thomas and St. Croix building. 300, over 300. And it was simulcast and live streamed from St. Thomas to St. Croix. So yes, in St. Croix, employees were saying the same thing we saw at the same time. Official and guests included Governor, Lieutenant Governor, Delegate to Congress, Chairman Callender, Senator Myron Jackson, Vice President of the Legislature, representative for the retiree groups, Ruff and the St. Croix retirees, active employees, and 14 vendors and partners. That ends my report.
Thank you, Mr. Nick. Any questions? Questions for the administrator?
I've noticed last month, I don't remember if I saw it in August. I know it was in July. We don't do that customer service thing that we had started.
Last month, I did give you a report on the customer service. I'm not gonna do it every month.
It wasn't last
It's
month?
lengthy. You want it every month?
No, I was just saying, I was just wondering, because I didn't say it last month, I think the last one was August.
I know I gave it, yes,
Yeah,
probably,
that's what I was saying,
yes.
I'm like,
Yes,
it's still,
I did. Yes, it's come, it's redoing. I mean, it's still there. Members are, I mean, I have the report, but I didn't insert it
so
here.
what, the program that we are trying to go with
You
the
mean ambassador
stuff,
program?
is that
Well,
moving?
members were supposed to have signed up. Miss Morton is there at the 60th anniversary. We were supposed to kick it off then, right?
Good morning. We actually had only 4 persons that signed up. So we now have a total of 10 on St. Thomas and 8 on St. Croix.
How many do you need?
Uh,
How many you're trying
All,
to?
all.
25 to 30, we want a lot of persons, but we're just not getting that type of interest.
What I recommend is that we probably contact the 2 retiree groups and see if we can get. I know I've met a lot of retirees and they were wondering when we were going to bring it up.
Yeah, because that's one of the things people are asking,
You know, they're asking me.
if they're
stuff.
still doing it, and I was like,
So maybe we just have to write the retiree groups, their heads. You have their email addresses. I can give it to you, and we can ask them to poll the members and see if they wanted to participate.
I do, and if I may, we actually contacted them before.
Well, they probably forgot, but I know they asked when I went to visit Ruff. They did ask when I met with them a few months ago, and I told them it was coming up in the new year.
Excuse me, another option would be put the notice in the monthly update as well.
You mean a newsletter?
Newsletter.
Yes, yes,
it's there. It was.
okay.
That's why I was asking.
Anything else?
Yes, can I refer to something else, the White House?
Yes, sir.
Just because we're running into a little bit of a complication here. We're running into our only option being a one rail lift system with it limits the capacity quite a bit, and it sounds like it's a lot more maintenance because of the angle and the tilt and all that. What I mentioned this before, but you may want to consider an alternative choice for the disabled, have a covered ramp going up the side of the building, up the incline, and have it covered in case of rain. And then where the elevator presently is, just gut that and put in a spiral staircase so people on the inside could get up and down.
Well, you can do work internally. It's a historic building. I think you can't do anything outside. You can do it inside. We'll have to check with your radiant.
Of the structure.
But spirals, they're supposed the person is in a wheelchair. How is he gonna get up the spiral staircase?
So I was saying for the disabled, the ramp on the outside, but it would also have to be covered as well.
We do have a ramp outside. We do have a ramp outside, which was done. I guess this historic preservation let us do it. Trust. But if you're saying cover it, I understand that. But we do have a ramp. We did do an addition of a ramp.
Okay, I didn't notice one when I was there. I probably didn't look around the side.
It's on the side, it's on the north side.
Oh, okay, all right.
I have one more question. This is more, because we're still trying the timing of retirement annuity start. Are we closer to our 90 days for most people yet?
Oh, yes.
Because
Oh, yes.
my August retirees, I tell them you should be getting it before. You know what? I'm trying to, because we know we had a lot of teachers retired in August.
We We are billing the government and we're getting our monies. I would see the only drawback would be the employee side, if they're not up to date.
Or if they have issues
Or
with
they
it.
have
because
other issues.
I spoke to him about that. I'm like, once you're cleared,
Yeah.
you should be by November, we should be declared.
Because I've been looking, when they send me the preliminary, I look at the date of retirement and I can see that. You may have one or two that from last year, but most of them are in this year going out within 90 days, that type of thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Because as much as I hate to see them leave, but a lot of
I
them,
understand.
I had 50 something that ended on August 31st.
Right.
So when they see me on the street, am I getting my retirement before Christmas? And I'm like, you should, once you don't owe anything, once your paperwork is in.
But since August, the number of individuals retiring monthly to go to the payroll are reducing. So I'm wondering, I was going to ask Ms. Sasso why. Maybe do they have a backlog, or it's just that the individuals have slowed down or something in retirement, or because to me, it's dwindling. It used to be like sometimes 20 something, 30 something, now it's 11. So that's something to check. But I know that the retirement days are close to 90 days or something like that. I've seen people turn around in 45 days.
Right.
Matter of fact,
Excuse me.
we paid one of our employees in 30 days.
Yes,
Right,
yes.
Mr. Nibs?
Yes, sir.
A recommendation for just goodwill and hopefully a better relationship with the governor. Could this be released in a letter and to the news agency, the newspapers, that the government is paying as we bill them promptly, and therefore this time of being able to get their benefits have reduced significantly from the previous years, and we're up to whatever, less than 90 days.
Well, yeah, we have said it publicly. I've said it on the radio program. The government caught up because of the court action. Remember, they were behind 5-7 months. And
Well, but I'm saying this, this particular government, just give him a little pat on the back, because we're going to be dealing with him on a number of issues here in the future.
Well, the pat on the back started from July last year, but we didn't pat that one on the back. We were caught up from July last year because of a court order. But I understand what you're saying. Every time someone asks me, they ask me if they caught up, I said yes. On Redfield 4, they asked us, I said yes. I mean, we have some issues. And I had a meeting with Ms. Griot a few days ago, and she gave me a report. The government is sending the monies in. There was one where they sent the money, they didn't send the file, but the monies are coming in just about 10 days after the period. As far as the deductions, and we have to bill them for any prior period missing contributions for retirees, and that's coming in. We send it out, we tell them a due date, it comes right in.
I'm glad you mentioned one.
Trustee Cohen, Mr. Nibs will take your suggestion on the advisement.
Okay.
As you mentioned one, Louis, what the status on Snyder? You remember at one point where the nurses, they weren't turning in their retirement that they were removed, that they were collecting. Have they done that?
I think the NOPAs have came in.
So there are like some who transferred or who left Snyder. Because I have one who's a school nurse now.
Yeah.
I know she has started a process, but some of her monies, they're trying to catch up. So I was wondering about
They are trying to catch up.
So they're still working on it.
Yes.
So I told her I was going to follow up, and I totally forgot until you just mentioned one.
Yeah, but they're working with us. They're trying their best to.
So even the ones who are no longer there, they're going to make them whole?
Correct. They have to make it.
Thanks.
Anything else, Trustee?
But hopefully they don't make them whole when they're looking to retire. They should make them whole now.
I want to commend the staff, and particularly the committee that was responsible for the 60th anniversary kickoff. It was an outstanding presentation. There's a word that I told Ms. Kanye, there's a word that I really dislike hearing people use, and that's something that's awesome. Usually when I hear that word, figure out, oh, they need to go and find another word for it. But if there was ever a time since I've been here that a presentation was awesome, this was it. It really was an awesome. It really was an awesome job. I want to make sure you all understand that. And thank you all for what you all did.
And I'm sorry I missed it, but I was at UVI at another event.
Yeah, she's calling me at 10:30, asking me if I'm here yet. I wasn't giving you a Okay. Committee reports.
Policy none.
No, I guess not. I guess, okay, no.
None.
We have some.
Oh,
There's a hearing scheduled for November 7th. But another 2 other pre-hearing conference.
Medical Disability Committee, Medical Review Committee has a hearing scheduled for September 7th, November 7th. We have a few outstanding cases that we hope to resolve in the next few weeks. And I'm asking the question, are we in the budget thing?
Yes, I was just gonna tell you that we're a little late because we wanted to include the union increases. It was a lot that we had to do, so we're gonna get it to you as soon as possible.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, Treasurer's report.
Good morning, Board Chair, other trustees. This is the Government Employees Retirement System Schedule of Receipts and Disbursements for the month ending September 30th, 2019. Receipts from collections, loan repayment, $2,216,299. Year to date, $26,239,064. Rent from tenants / utilities, $296,584. Year to date, $1,801,942. Rents from Havenside tenants, $431,345. Year to date, $6,006,018. Employer retirement contributions, $6,997,692. Year to date, $85,881,945. Employee retirement contributions, $4,209,511. Year to date, $49,183,975. Parking facility, 1,330. Year to date, 12,740. Miscellaneous, 193,382. Year to date, 30,644,476 for total collections of 14,346,143. Year to date, 199,770,160. Disbursements, annuity payments, 21,724,032. Year to date, 259,897,560. Administrative expenses, 1,182,263. Year to date, 14,210,480. Personal loans, 2,392. Year to date, 345,941. Mortgage loans, 69,355. Year to date, 677,661. Retiree loans, 239. Year to date, 243,528. There was no auto loan and land loans for September. Year-to-date, auto loans, 162. Year-to-date, land loans, 1,962. Refund of contributions, 729,157. Year-to-date, 136,823. Allotments to WICO, nothing for the month of September. Year-to-date, 3,141,265 for a total disbursement of 23,707,438. Year-to-date, 290,655,383 for a net cash deficit of 9,361,295. Year-to-date, 90,885,222. That's the end of the reading.
Thank you, ma'am. Trustees, any question for Ms. Jeremiah? Dr. Coyne?
No questions.
Sullivan?
No question. Just the same statement. We are paying out more than we're taking in, and with no investment income, we're quickly getting to a place that we don't want to be.
Okay, I need a motion for acceptance of the treasurer's report.
I move to accept the treasurer's report as is.
Second.
Trustee Carwood,
Yes.
trustee Cohen,
Yes.
trustee Liger, excuse, trustee Maynard, absent. Trustee McDonough,
Yes.
trustee Smith, absent. Chairman Callan,
Yes.
chair 4 yes, 2 absent, 1 excused.
Thank you. Treasurer's report has been accepted. Investment officers report.
Good morning, trustees. This is an update of the plan performance for the month ending September 30th, 2019. Total plan performance, total plan returned 0.2% for the month. Total equity returned 1.6% for the month. Total fixed income returned negative 0.5% for the month. And total alternative returned 0.2% for the month. Total plan return for the fiscal year end of 5.8%. Notable manager performances for the month: the Russell 1000 value returned 3.6% for the month, and our Russell 1000 index returned 1.7% for the month. As it relates to monthly cash flow, we ended the month at approximately 614 million. So as we can see, our asset base is continued to decrease. We did raise 3.4 million in the month of September, which we raised from the liquidation of our mid-cap index fund. We began the month at around 628 million. We had about 15 million in net cash outflows. We had income of about 520,000. We had a gain of 375,000 that brought us to that ending market value of approximately 614 million. For the month, we paid no management or custodian or consultant fees. Year to date, we've paid about $628,000. Fiscal year to date, we've paid $832 in management fees, consultant fees, and investment custodian fees. Year to date, our securities lending, we've gained roughly $2,000. Fiscal year to date, on $3,000 roughly. As you can see from our current asset allocation, we're now about 60-40 bonds, fixed income to equity and other investments. So as part of the dynamic asset allocation on our de-risking of the portfolio, you can see that we're now more overweighted in the fixed income and cash area versus equities. And on the bottom, you can see the allocation market values for those particular asset classes. Currently about 93 million in equity, currently about 331 million in fixed income, 87 million in alternative assets. And bear in mind, this does not include, these amounts does not include the member loans, the office complexes, and we had about 100 million in cash at the end of the month. Mr. Chairman, that is my presentation.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Any question? Mr. Anderson?
No question.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Nips, you had a request to amend the agenda.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to amend the agenda to include a request for the board to make a motion to include the Zaida Castro, my executive assistant, as a signatory to the petty cash account as a custodian. She's replacing Ms. Forbes. The bank requires it. I sent a copy of the requirement from the bank, so I'd just like to have a motion to have it added to the petty cash bank account as a petty cash custodian.
I'll move, Cohen, I'll move to accept her as a co-signer. Is Ms. Forbes?
Ms. Zaida Castro.
Zaida Castro.
Oh, okay, all right. Yes, I so move.
Replacing.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
this
yeah,
is
wait,
the
wait.
motion just to agenda.
To put it on the agenda to vote? Okay, all right, to put it on the agenda.
To place on the agenda. We have to make a motion to.
Yes, okay.
to
All right, so to place the, to consider her to be signed on as a co-signer.
we need to have a motion to amend the agenda. And then we can have a motion to put her on the.
I think that's what he was doing.
All right, so first we've got to amend the agenda to place that to be considered, that motion to be considered.
Second.
Trustee Colwood,
Yes.
trustee Cohen,
Yes,
trustee Liger, excuse, trustee Maynard, absent. Trustee McDonald,
Yes.
trustee Smith, absent. Chairman Calendar.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, 4 yes, 1 excuse, 2 absent.
No.
Let me see that.
Number 3. Under new business.
Okay. So we do regular business, ratify the poll vote to make monthly allotments to WICO for the Haven site operation beginning in October 1, 2019.
Yes, there was a poll vote taken. In regards, I had recommended that this be done. And I know that there was an opinion drafted by the board counsel. And he submitted, I think it was a prior opinion, going back last year, a couple of years. I think we had requested that. And he was in opposition to that. However, the poll vote was already taken. Now, I guess I need some type of direction as to, are you going to ratify this poll vote, or are we going to go based on the board council? The board council is saying that it's contrary to the agreement. I was looking at it based on cash flow.
Okay.
And
All right, but excuse me, Mr. Newt, but aren't we done with that contract and we're presently on a no contract basis right now?
well, you're on a month to month, but your prior agreement carries
When the
over.
transition period.
Every one of this.
While it is true that we're in a quote-unquote transition period, most courts would most likely hold that, you're operating under the same terms and condition as the agreement when it was in effect. I'm not sure it's accurate to say that I was in opposition to what the administrator is recommending. I was simply pointing out to the trustees that at that time you did have an agreement, and I believe my opinion goes back to January of this year when the issue was first raised. And the agreement provides for quarterly allotment. And I was simply pointing out that you cannot unilaterally change the agreement. Now, if there has been some discussion with WICO, and I believe maybe in their presentation yesterday or somewhere I saw that they made some reference to monthly contribution or monthly allotment of payment. So maybe in their mind, they're receiving it monthly or it's being based on some sort of monthly numbers. But the gist of the opinion was that if WICO has no objections to it, then it should be fine. But I was simply putting you on notice that should they object to it, then they would prevail in their position because the agreement provides for quarterly allotment and not monthly.
Okay, the amendment that they're considering presently about extending the contract for the excuse me, that's been going back and forth, and they wanted to discuss it yesterday.
Executive session.
You don't need to discuss this.
Oh, okay, all right, sorry.
I think what Trustee Cohen was going to suggest is that if there's going to be amendments to the agreement, that this should be part of it. Am I correct?
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
And what do we do? Nothing. Since the voting, go ahead
Either way.
and approve the poll vote.
I mean, the trustees could do whatever they want to do. If you want to ratify the poll vote, you can do that. But again, bear in mind that the action is contrary to the provisions of the management agreement. I mean, you're unilaterally changing the contract.
I understand it.
Mr. Chairman, I don't know. Mr. Chairman, I don't know. I told WICO that I cannot release any allotment until I get a true up. The true up I told them was due the 15th. They responded that they can't complete until the end of the month. So they haven't gotten anything. Usually we'll give them and then we do the true up. And if they have surplus, then we have to deal with the surplus after October.
But I did point out in my memo, for example, let's assume last quarter you gave $250,000.
900,000.
Well, okay, whatever, 900,000. And based on the numbers that they submit, it's clear that they've only spent 700,000, so there's 200,000, and you're supposed to give them another 900,000. I mean, the agreement provides that you can make those adjustments so that you not only have to give them 700,000 instead of 900,000. So that's what I was suggesting, given that you know what the numbers are, that would be another way to try and address how much money you give them on a quarterly basis.
You see, that's if the reports were timely. We have only received, or we just received August report this week. It's going to be hard because I don't want to give them $900 and some thousand and the expenses are going down. They're holding my money.
Okay, again, Mr. Nip, the memo points out that to the extent that they're not in compliance with their reporting provisions, then they're in default of the agreement, and therefore you can, on that basis, you can withhold the quarterly allotment. But if and when they become compliant, then you have an obligation to them comply with the terms of the agreement.
The accountant don't flow that way.
I'm sorry?
It doesn't flow that way because it doesn't give us an opportunity to review the reports, determine how they're spending. It's because of the untimeliness of the reports to us.
So what he's saying is you can withhold the payment until you
Now
get
you
your
wait until you
reports.
get the report.
I don't like that because number one, they're spending their monies, and we had a problem when we were auditing when Ronald was here. Ron.
Oh.
We had something they were putting it as payroll payable, and it wasn't payroll. It was a whole lot of mess. We had to go all the way back years and try to bring it current. Okay, I don't like them spending their money and ask me for reimbursement. I'd rather pay them. And if I do it on a monthly basis, I have more control. But they'll have to tell me how much payroll you're gonna be. Suppose some employees are going and I'm giving them pay. They had it in the budget that employee was there and I'm giving them money for a person that is not there. That's what I'm saying. The person may have retired. And I know some people have gone. So I'm giving them more money than they need. So we would need to see who's on your payroll this month working. Tell me exactly how much they need. Tell me what your expenses are going to be for this month. Recurring expenses, whether they're fixed or variable. And then I'll be able to allot you that amount. But I don't want to allot them 900 and some thousand hours, and I just don't feel comfortable based on prior experience. It happened earlier in the year when they had over 500 or something. They didn't even spend the money. What's going on here?
Well, Pedro, since, Mr. Nibbs has notified them that he's going to be doing the monthly and they haven't objected to it, can we just do it? And then if they object to it, then we deal with the issue at that time? But it seems from, they haven't sent an email back saying, no, we reject this. The contract says you must do it 90 days. So it seems to me that they're accepting it because they know they're behind on the accounting.
And that's what I said. If WICO has no objections to it, you could do it and in a sense get away with it. But again, you're doing it with the knowledge that what you're doing is not in compliance with the agreement. That's the point that I'm making.
Yeah, understand, but they're also not in compliance with the agreement, so.
Yeah, but if they're not there, you have a duty and a responsibility to take action and do what you're supposed to do pursuant to your obligations under the agreement.
Tell me what to do.
Okay, trustees.
Okay. We said it, so cause I'm still believing that you give it when they send it, you get them some more. If they find that it's not compliant, then we adjust.
Okay, so anyone make a motion then?
To ratify the poll vote.
Ratify the poll vote?
So move.
I'll second that.
Trustee Carwood,
Yes.
Trustee Cohen,
Yes.
Trustee Liger, excused. Trustee Maynard, absent. Trustee McDonald.
Yes.
Trustee Smith, absent. Chairman Callahan.
Yes.
So Chair, 4 present, 1 excused.
4 yes.
4 yes, I'm sorry. 1 excused, 2 absent.
Item number 2, to approve increasing the employer's contribution rate of 3% effective January 1, 2020.
To increase it an additional 3%.
We had some discussion on that.
No, I'm just saying, the way you said 3%, it gave the impression you were increasing it 3%. So I just wanted to make sure it's 3% on above what it is currently.
Yes. Thank you.
There was a resolution that was done in 2015, carrying us through,
Yeah, for 3 years.
yes, 2020.
1 year.
It's resolution number 03/2015. Title is to ratify poll vote to increase the tier 2 rates. However, if you go down to page 2 of 2, it talks about whereas by poll vote, the majority of trustees voted to increase the contribution rates for the tier 2 employees and their employers as follows: 1% per year consecutively and cumulatively for 3 years, effective February 5, 2015 for employees. And the employer rate is increased by 3% effective February 5, 2015. I think initially we thought that it was every 5 years we would have automatically increased the employer rate by 3%. But my counsel told me no, the resolution didn't read as such. But so now we are coming and asking the board to continue the 3% increase in employer rate every 5 years.
Okay, just the employer rate, not the employee.
No employee rate. Employee rates cannot be increased any further.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions on that? Any
We're
discussion?
gonna have more discussion on this in the in executive session and the proposal that with Rocky in the executive session.
Okay.
We're going to have more discussion.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we
Yeah,
making a motion now then.
we need a motion. This is within the board's authorization, so we need this motion.
The legislature has given the board the authorization to increase rates.
No, but you just said you're having more conversation about it, but.
Well, I'm saying there's gonna be more conversation going forward to this.
We need the board to pass this
There's gonna be
resolution.
more conversation going forward, more years
Okay,
as to what the
that's what
impact.
that
of
was, when you said we have more
So-
conversation around.
But you could always wait until after the conversation and then come back to it. Doesn't that say you have to vote on this now?
The board, yeah,
Can you change it?
But we do have the board has the authorization on legislation and the BI code to increase the employer rate.
so moved.
Second,
Boy, McDonald.
he done his homework.
Okay, trustee Caldwell,
Yes,
trustee Cohen,
Yes,
trustee Liger, excused, trustee Maynard, absent, trustee McDonald,
Yes,
trustee Smith, absent, chairman Callahan,
Yes.
chair 4 yes, 1 excused, 2 absent.
Okay, motion passes.
no, they was coming.
Item number 3.
We need money, you ain't getting money, you gonna take it.
that's it. That's our time.
Ms. Castro.
Is there any executive session?
Yeah, to authorize.
That's your agenda.
We need a
Yeah,
motion to
right.
authorize Mrs.
Come and do that.
No, no, no.
Oh, no, we
no,
moved it.
it's
Okay,
the
yes,
agenda.
that was before, after, we did that, yeah. Before we go into exec, Mr. Chair, I move to authorize Mr. Nibs to include Ms. Castro as a signator for the petty cash account.
Give me a minute.
That's all right?
You need to leave.
Yeah.
Give me-
Authorize Ms. Castro and replace him as Forbes as a petty cash custodian.
okay, I'll second that.
Trustee Caldwell,
Yes.
trustee Cohen,
Yes,
trustee Liger, excused, trustee Maynard, absent, trustee McDonald,
Yes,
trustee Smith, absent, chairman Callahan,
Yes.
chair 4 yes, 1 excused, 2 absent.
Okay, Castro, you have some work now.
More work.
More work. I know I said that, but more work. Yes. Anything else before we go?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I move that we move into executive session as part of the discussion. We'll deal with matters pertaining to trade secrets and or financial or commercial information.
second.
okay, I'll second if nobody did.
Second already. McDonald, second. Trustee Caldwell,
Yes,
trustee Cohen,
Yes,
trustee Liger, excused, trustee Maynard, absent, trustee McDonald,
Yes,
trustee Smith, absent, Chairman Calendar,
Yes.
Chair 4 yes, 1 excuse, 2 absent.
Thank you.